these snakes trying to take your place. All these snakes always giving chase. And these snakes, all these fucking fakes. All these snakes, all these fucking fakes. Ain't no handshakes to the fake. They never take a break. All up in your face and they talking about how they can't relate. Got me reaching to my waist. Actors always on the take. All these snakes, always giving taste. Hey, who want the best for me? There's a lot of treachery and I gotta keep a vest on me just to see my destiny. Man, it's hard to hide a broken heart, and a smile can mean a lot of things. Since can't be hidden well behind words that's flattering. Yeah. When the truth comes out, use your clout. If I'm on top, everybody bet it. Low on trust, everybody get it. Came up around hyenas, so I never trust the meanest. I seen the work of schemers and what they do to dreamers. A lot of Martin Paynes. Find yourself a Gina. World full of dirty spirits. Find yourself a queen of snakes. Trying to take your place. Always giving chase. All these snakes. All these fucking fakes. All these fucking snakes. All these snakes. And they trying to take your place. And they always giving chase. My attitude is hardcore. Yes, I've been bit before. That venom in your bloodstream will have your judgments premature. Now you want war. Trust is out the door. You riding with stripes, prepared to destroy. Hey, he stood right beside you, soaking up game. Found out your weakness and turned into Cain. This was way before the strategies came. Hey, you start shooting blindly, then casualties came. But now, look at me, all over the world. Got my girl dressed in all these pearls. All these snakes. All these fucking fakes. All these fucking snakes. All these snakes. Trying to take your place. Trying to always chase. All these reptiles acting funny style on my come up. Instead of scheming in the shadows, why don't you run up? Woke tongue, chain skin. Disguised as friends. Inspect all your guests. Pull you let them in. Keep snake too close. You can knock them toes. They taste the air just to eat your ghost. Red mind catch flow. Fill his ass with hoes. Feed his ass to crows. Keep your casket closed. Snakes. All these fucking fakes. All these fucking snakes. All these snakes. And they trying to take place. And they always seem. I'm seeing things while smoking green and sipping on this Remy. Behind scenes, I be running things and pulling strings like Jimmy. Prices can be paid back without spending a penny. So I'm watching for the funny style, but there's so many.
What's goody? What's poppin'? What's going down? It's the homie, main man, made man in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. You know what I'm talking about. Once again, it is an honor and a pleasure. I repeat, an honor and a pleasure to be up on here with all of the boxing fam and the boxing fans. It's Saturday, so you know what that means. It's our time now, man. All day. What's goody? I got my homies Lewis Coleman in the building. What up, famo? Dimitri Cohen in the building. Last of a Dime Breed in the building. UGC Boxing Channel in the building. Shout out to the UGC. What up, Black? Hey, man, Prograis late stoppage, though. Okay, all right. I seen your vid on that earlier, man. Yeah, man, good breakdown you gave, man. And we're going to definitely get into that and a lot more other boxing topics here on We Talking Boxing. I'll be right in front of y'all in a minute. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about, man. I'm a little behind. I missed Wednesday's show. So, I'm kind of trying to play catch up in the meantime, between time. But today is the day. Today is the day, fight fans. All questions will be answered. Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor, who is the man? at 140 pounds? Who is the man at 140 pounds? They're walking away for unification purposes. They're going to get the Muhammad Ali trophy. They're going to get a big bag of money, hella legacy points, a lot of recognition. Damn, this is what fights are made of. You know what I'm talking about? This is what I like to call the mountaintop of boxing. Now, before we get into these things, you know what I'm saying? Let me get right in front of y'all. Like I told y'all from the jump, there's a few things that I do want to talk about that I have been missing out on. The Vasyl Lomachenko talk, the Jermall Charlo talk. I'm not done with Jermall Charlo. We got something to talk about. Matter of fact, let's jump right into it if we can, you know what I mean? So we're going to do some undercard things first. Y'all know how I like to do. And then we'll get to the meat and potatoes. Last of a dying breed. I got Taylor by split decision. Okay, D-Lo 404 Boxing. What up, famo? What's up with you, man? Man, so before we get into the nitty gritty of things, I need to talk about this situation right here. Now, last that I left off, we were talking about Jermall Charlo. We was talking about Jermall Charlo in a good light. Yo, my man was like he was down to go over to DAZN. He was down to take a one-fight deal. I'm up in here bigging him up. I just told y'all in the video, look, I'm not going to jump over mountains for him because it's something that he should have been done. I'm happy to hear it. I'm like, yeah, man, finally he is coming to his senses. I was called out by some people, and you know who you are. I was called out. Why ain't you talking about this? And now, here I am. I give him a little credit, and he comes back and he throws that credit to shit. Well, word on the curb is that if you go over to the Boxing Voice, when Ness is talking with Jermall Charlo, and when they mentioned Demetrius Andrade, this is what he said. Andrade is a nobody. So this is what I be saying about Charlo. 1 minute, he down to go. One fight deal, oh, whatever. Next minute, I don't know who Eddie Hearn is. Nah, why can't they come over here on Showtime? Which one is it, bro? I'm not going to sit here and give this man credit one day, and then for him to come back a couple days later say what he ain't going to do. And this is what I be talking about when it comes to Charlo. Why would you come out and say Demetrius Andrade is a nobody? Well, knowing that is the fight that, yo, opposed to your Dennis Hogan fight and everybody else you've been fighting, this unification fight makes sense. Andrade is out here on record calling out Charlo. Now, his actions speak different, but yet he's actually on record in many interviews calling out Charlo. Charlo come, oh, yeah, well, tell Eddie Hearn to hit me up. Then a couple that, who is Demetrius? He's a nobody. I don't want to fight Demetrius. I'd rather fight one of the other champions or go up and wait. Which one is it, bruh? It's like, dog, this dude, Jermall Charlo, be all over the map. And this is why I be hesitant to try to give him props on certain, because he always come back and erase that credit. Never fails. I mean, Jermall Charlo, you sit over there if you keep sitting over there on Showtime if you want, thinking that everything gonna fall in your lap. You are not that dude. You do not have that name. No one's gonna cross the street for Jermall Charlo. And you sitting back talking about certain other fighters are nobodies, then what the hell are you, bro? Like, what are you? Ain't nobody crossing the street for you. This is the type of behavior that I be talking about. The second that a fighter get a little bit of recognition and, you know what I mean, get a little bit of credit, a belt or something like that, they start changing. This diva stuff starts setting in. Now all of a sudden, Andrade is a nobody. And I even heard Eddie Hearn recently say, well, we will explore that when Jermall Charlo came out and said that I will be down to explore one fight. Now, Andrade is a nobody. Whatever, man. Let's expand on this story. So word on the curb is that Chris Eubank Jr. will now be coming down from 168 back down to 160 to fight on the undercard of Jermall Charlo and Dennis Hogan. Whatever. You know what I mean? He's going to be facing Jermall Charlo's last opponent in Matt Korobov, as you see it right here. I'm excited to come down to 160 where I naturally belong, and I don't see nobody being able to touch me at this weight class. Bro, you ain't fought at 160 in forever. You are not a disciplined enough fighter in my, I mean, he always in tip-top condition. He look good on the scale, but he just, to me, not a disciplined enough fighter to cut that weight and to conserve energy and to do the things that's necessary to get through a fight at 160. Why is he leaving 168 when all the smoke is over at 68 at PBC? Caleb Plant, Benavidez. Not to mention Eubank was promised to lead the PBC charge in the UK with the channel, the new deal that they worked out across seas. And now he's coming back down to 160 to fight on the undercard of Jermall Charlo. And some people cool with that. I'm not. I don't think it's never a good thing when a fighter got to come back down and weight, especially being away from the weight class for so long. He's got a lot. We know he lost to Billy Joe Saunders down at 160. But at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of fighters, especially when you've been removed from that class for so long, because those fights come with built-in excuses. Oh, he was supposed to lose. He was drained. Oh, he fought at a weight class he hasn't fought in years. I mean, he wasn't the same fighter. He was dehydrated. Blah, 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 blah. Not to mention, you just come off a big win at 168 by beating James DeGale. I think it was a fragile James DeGale who was holding on by a piece of bubble gum, some spearmint, and some duct tape. But at the end of the day, you beat James DeGale. That was name recognition. And now you want to come back down to 160. Now Charlo feel like, I got a built-in opponent for next year. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I got to fight a name recognition fight if Chris Eubank win, which is not a guaranteed win, because I don't know if Chris Eubanks beats Matt Korobov. Truth be told, when I do a prediction for that fight, I'm picking Matt Korobov. I'm keeping it 100. I have no belief in Chris Eubank Jr. Just because he beat James DeGale, I don't know if he's still the same guy or not. James DeGale barely got past the guy he got past. He shouldn't even got past in the win that they gave him to get that belt back. He shouldn't even got that fight. James DeGale has been, like I said, he's the walking tin man. Beat up, everything. He was looking for a big money fight, and he found Chris Eubank. But don't let that go to your head, bro. You should stay down at 68, man, and develop yourself. But whatever. He's coming down to 160. He's going to face Matt Korobov. I see Matt Korobov outboxing him. Chris Eubank just cannot do nothing with a skillful fighter. Some people may say, well, James DeGale was skillful, but he was broken. He had no punch resistance. And another skillful fighter that got just as much skill or talent as Chris Eubank, no dice. I think he gets outboxed. So, Junior, you need to stay down at 68, but if you're coming back down to 60, no excuses, homie. Hashtag no excuses. If you make it to Jamal Charlo, because I got Charlo beating Dennis Hogan. If you make it to Jamal Charlo, no excuses. No excuses. I don't want to hear no dehydration and all this other jazz. But this dude Charlo, man, whatever, Joe. This is why I be trying not to. I try to give him some airtime. I help him, Canelo, Duck Thumb, Triple G. I try to big him up as much as I can, but he not doing anything for himself. He ain't making the proper moves. Daniel Jacobs, I told you in the boardroom, run circles around this dude. Every fighter at 160 in the boardroom run circles around this dude. And now you want to stay over there on Showtime. Andrade is a nobody. You don't want to fight Andrade. You know Canelo and Triple G ain't coming. You cool with Chris Eubank Jr. Whatever. So I'm done with Jamal Charlo. Nobody ever called me out talking to me about Jamal Charlo. Don't call me out telling me about this dude, dog. I'm wasting my time with Jamal Charlo because he ain't making no damn moves. So don't hit me up talking about Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo does some moves that I don't understand. He's foreign to me right now, bro. He don't want no smoke. He want to sit over there and keep barking. We moving right along. Let me see what y'all talking about first, man. Dimitri Cohen says, I got Prograis in 7. I know that's right, man. D-Lo 404 boxing. I'm very glad that nothing derailed this fight all day. Same here, bro. Same here. D-Lo says, I love the Charlos. That said, man, let Jamal have it. These fighters are too inconsistent. No other champion is a nobody. Strap season all day. I couldn't say it no better. Could have said it no better. Inconsistent. He is very inconsistent. And I don't like that, bro. 1 minute it's, I don't know who Eddie is. And, they can come over here on Showtime. And he's never hit me up. Then it's, he's hit me up. Dog, if you go back through the interviews through the last year or two of Jamal Charlo speaking about Eddie Hearn, like my man, very inconsistent. 1 minute, he's good with it. Next minute, he ain't. Then he good with it. Then he ain't. Then he good with it. Then he ain't. Whatever, man. So Charlo fighting sometime in December against Dennis Hogan. Whatever the fuck. We moving right along. Next topic before we get to the meat and potatoes, man. The meat and potatoes. I need to talk about this situation right here. Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko. What is going on with the WBC, man? WBC. Lomachenko becomes the franchise champion with 14-1 as a record. He is the franchise champion, fight fans. Really? Can someone give me one reason, give me a valid reason as to why do you make Vasyl Lomachenko the franchise champion? What does he do? What has he done to achieve this mythical, legendary status? What exactly has he done? Who has he beat that puts him in this level? How many fights has he made pay-per-view numbers go off the charts to become the franchise champion? What is the legitimate reason that you make him the franchise champion? There is none, fight fans. There is none. Because what he's done has already been done. That person wasn't designated as a franchise. And I'm talking Terrence Crawford. Crawford has already done what this kid is trying to do. He's been through 3 weight classes. He's been undisputed. No one mentioned a franchise, nothing about him. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder, how long has he been the WBC champion? Nobody ain't mentioned nothing about franchise with him. But yet, Vasyl Lomachenko, with what, 15 fights, gets to be a franchise champion for what reason? And this is where the WBC, I told y'all before, man, they have sunken. They have, what do they call it? Falling into that sunken place, bro. Like, they have sunk on the totem pole. Their belt is just pretty. That's it. It's just pretty. The Huko's belt, the Mayan belt, the franchise belt, the diamond belt, the belts. It's pretty. They're green. They're light green. They're all of these flags around them. They're colorful. Oh, they're nice. They don't mean jack crap. Because they're making up belts as they go for no reason. And you can't even give an appropriate reason why you gave this to Vasyl Lomachenko. UGC Boxing says fighting Hulk Hogan's son ain't gonna get him there. Ain't gonna get it done. Nah, man. Dennis Hogan is Hulk Hogan's adopted son. You know what I'm saying? All day. Nah, that ain't gonna get him there at all, Joe. That ain't even gonna move the needle at all. One bit. Fool of Sports says he didn't want that Haney work, bro. D-Lo says all of these guys are saying they want fights, needs to stay consistent and take action all day. Last of a dying breed, franchise belt, aka witness protection belt, all day. That's all it's for, bro. That's all it's for. You hit it perfectly. There is no other function of this belt other than to get the mandatories out the way. It's to protect these fighters. Now, this is the sad part. Now, Devin Haney, this kid right here, hell of a fighter. He's now been elevated to WBC champion. I can't recognize him as the champion. This is the same way I said about Jamal Charlo. Ain't no, trying to just diss him or go against him or whatever like that. I can't recognize you as a champion because you've been given the belt. And it's the WBC's fault for putting that jacket on you. This is why I'm well on record. Why saying that Jamal Charlo should vacate that WBC belt. And as well as Devin Haney. You should vacate that. You should not be the one to have to do all the dirty work for the WBC because they want to protect their so-called champion. Now, the only one that got a mandatory is this kid. Vasyl Lomachenko don't. So he got to fight. He got to constantly fight. He got to do what he's told. But the franchise champion can just move around and do what the hell he want to do. Why does Vasyl Lomachenko get this luxury? Why? Is he moving like record numbers of pay-per-view? I'm lost on this. There is no reason that was given. They just give it to him. Oh, we just don't want him to have to face Devin Haney. Bro, this is why, man, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Boxing right now is so dependent on the casual fan. They so are dependent on dumb fans that don't know the game. They so want that in the game, right? It's almost as if they're at a war with cats like myself and like y'all. You know what I mean? True diehard fans that know the sport in and out. It's like an enemy of the sport almost now. All we want is the rules that you set. Now you making up belts and we supposed to be cool with that. You taking away mandatories, we supposed to be cool with that. You taking away fights we want to see. We supposed to be cool with that. Don't get me wrong. I want to see him face Teofimo Lopez or Richard Comey. No doubt. But not like this. Not like this, man. Not with this franchise shit. Not like this, man. This is disrespectful. Devin Haney needs to maybe fight 1-2 more fights at 135 and get the hell out of there and go to 140. He ain't going to get that Loma fight. We should have seen the right. Devin Haney, truth be told, and I hate to say this, he should have saw the writing on the wall when he seen Top Rank and Bob Arum pulling the maneuvers that they were in the WBC by allowing Vasyl Lomachenko as already a champion to fight for a vacated belt. Then they move Teofimo Lopez to the IBF so they can corner that. You should have seen the way that the writing on the wall was instead of major moves accordingly. They didn't want to fight you from the jump. They never wanted to face Devin Haney. Too long, too young, too skillful. All of these things mixed together is a nightmare for Vasyl Lomachenko. And they never want this from the jump. And you know, Devin is all he's ever done is what us boxing fans ask of him to do. And that is want smoke. That is want to get in there with the best. That is not run away from the fights, run towards them. That's all he's ever done. Made the moves to get on the right networks to make stuff happen. He was a Mayweather Promotions guy at one point in time, right? Well, he got away from that whole outfit and made his own moves, took his own career in his hand, headed over to DAZN in a co-promotional deal. Or Matchroom, I'm sorry, in the co-promotion. Like, the way he did it is beautiful. He's done everything us fans have asked of a fighter to do. Go towards the smoke. And he's done it. And he can't get the smoke. And they're protecting him. This is a shame. This is a shameful day, a shameful move. The Canelo move was shameful. The Lomachenko move was shameful. Jamal Charlo should vacate the belt. Haney should vacate the belt. They all should vacate them belts and say, damn the WBC. A stand has to be made. A stand has to be made, fight fans. Someone has to make a stand. And if these fighters just keep on accepting things the way they are, oh, I'm good with it. They gave me I'm the WBC champion now. No, the fuck you ain't, bro. You ain't no champion. But all you are as a title holder. And you know what I mean? Like, you ain't beat nobody for that belt. It wasn't even the least that they can do is say, well, if we're going to make a franchise champion, then the number 1 and number 2 guy got to fight for the WBC. That's the least they can do. Instead of just saying, here, it's disrespectful to give me a belt that I didn't earn. Other fighters are looking at me not like a champion. It's disrespectful to me and my legacy to give me a belt that I didn't earn. So keep your belt. I don't want your trashy belt. I'm going up in weight and I'm going to another sanctioning body. Y'all keep y'all franchise champion. A stand got to be made, fight fans. That's all I'm saying. If we keep accepting the status quo, they got no reason to stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? Denise Ward says, the WBC, what's up, Queen? The WBC finally showed their true colors all day. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Pito Fresh Gabar, thanks, fool. Appreciate that. Pito Fresh Gabar says they got the complexion for the protection all day. Full of Sports, Deontay Wilder should unify, then drop the WBC belt. I want them all to make a stand on the WBC, man. And Deontay Wilder got a reason to be pissed too, because he's been champion for how long? How many title defenses? And they even not one time floated the idea of franchise champion towards Deontay Wilder. So what is the criteria we using? They say it was supposed to be about popularity, and if you just did, that ain't Vasyl Lomachenko. And he ain't done nothing that no one else hasn't done. Terrence Crawford has already done what he's trying to do. So what is the criteria? I'm lost. Other than protection. So anybody who says that they're only doing this, main man, to protect Loma and to protect Canelo, you 120% right, and no one has no other proof to tell you otherwise. Facts. So this is a shame. And Vasyl Lomachenko, sadly, he earned my respect in the ring over time by beating certain people like Gary Russell and Jorge Linares. He earned my respect in those fights. But this move right here, and he willfully accepted. He gave a nice little pretty speech at that WBC convention when he accepted this franchise belt. So, I mean, and that's another question, because I see the articles going around. Can we now still have undisputed? How can we have undisputed if these dudes are letting the regular belt go and getting this franchise belt, which can't be lost, which has no mandatories? Like, how do we get undisputed at this point? WBC literally has jankied up undisputed, all for a franchise belt. Sad day in boxing. Sad day in boxing, fight fans. This is pathetic and desperate. You let these fighters fight. If the cream gonna rise to the top, you let the cream rise to the top. You don't push put no one on the top that you want to be on top. You let the cream rise to the top. You let them fight each other, and whoever emerges is the, you know what? Whatever, man. Whatever. D-Lo says, at this point, the franchise champion is already a joke. No way to give it prestige now. Franchise equals protected all day. All day. Last of a dying breed. They know Wilder not scared, and I'm most likely going to beat whoever he don't need their protection. It's Bomb Squad. Yeah, man. All day. He don't need their protection or their belt. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just don't want it. Maybe he went to them and stood up on his principles and said, I don't want y'all belt. What I want that belt for? Just so you can give my belt to Dillian White? Huh? Just so you can give my belt to a Tyson Fury who definitely don't deserve it? Hell nah. So maybe he shot it down. Maybe we don't know. Maybe they floated it to him behind the scenes and he stood on his principle and shot it down. I would love to hear that story if it went down that way. But this is a joke. This is a joke, fight fans. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Let's get to the good stuff. Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor for all of the marbles. The winner, in my opinion, still has to see Ramirez, but we'll get to that. Man, this is the fight of fights. Full disclosure. I speak with Josh Taylor. I know Josh Taylor. He's a cool friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? He reached out to me. I don't know if I told this story on this channel before. When I was down to like maybe when I really first started, I had maybe 1,500, maybe 2,000 subs, and he reached out to me on Twitter, and we've been cool ever since. So I don't know, how he may like this video, but I got to keep it 100. You know what I mean? Let's talk about these two. World Boxing Super Series Championship right here, going down for all the marbles right here. Who you got? I seen my homie Black earlier say he got Regis. Y'all know Josh is a good homie to the show, but I like Regis also. So who does main man got? I don't know. But let's talk about it. Maybe we'll reach a conclusion before the show ends. Let's see. Josh Taylor. What does Josh Taylor do well? He's a great outboxer. I ain't gonna say great. He's a good outboxer. Very fast hands. Explosive style. Likes to get inside also and can bang on the inside. Even throws combinations on the inside. That's the one thing I like about Josh Taylor. Been tested on the top level. He's beat Victor Postal, a long, tall fighter. Victor was not in his prime. Yes, Terence Crawford beat him better, but Victor was a tough challenge for Josh Taylor because he showed you at that time he only had like 12 fights. He showed you that I can beat him short, tall, long, short, whatever. You've seen him in there with short, compact fighters, like in his last fight, right? And then you see this upcoming fight with Regis Prograis. You've seen him in there with tall, longer fighters like your Victor Postals, in which he had his moments where he didn't look too good in that fight, but he got through it. He dug deep and he got through it, and even knocked Victor Postal down. So Josh Taylor is also full of heart. Now, Regis Prograis, a fighter that I've seen get better and better each and every fight. A fighter that I've seen many different fronts from. I've seen him aggressive. I've seen him boxing. I've seen him on the inside. I've seen him on the outside. Just like Josh, you know what I mean? Very fast hands, fights fast on the inside, but his power is game-changing power. We've seen him put fighters down with one shot. Something we haven't seen from Josh. Josh usually is an accumulation of damage. But Regis has the ability to put you down with one shot. I don't know about putting you out, but can definitely put you down with one shot. Fights well on the inside, full of heart, full of determination. Eyes to the horizon, looking to be a star. And that is the story that is emerging from this fight. One fighter, in my opinion, looking to be a star in Regis Prograis. The other fighter in Josh Taylor, looking just to be the common man, to have a legacy and to build upon his legacy. That's what he wants. To me, the belt is just a bit of metal. Being world champion is what I want to be. I am not, I'll read it more. Basically, he's saying he's not down for the whole famous lifestyle. I like that kind of fighter. Lets me know he may not change if he gets on top. He didn't change in this fight. So I like this. Without a doubt, both of these fighters are the best opponent that each other has seen. Though Josh Taylor has been in there with the Victor Postal. And yes, this dude has been in there with the Kyle Relicky. At the end of the day, this is the best opponent that either man has ever seen. Jean Dejean in the building. What up, famo? Happy Boxing Day to you too, brother. It's just, This fight is razor thin close, fight fans. Now, what did they do wrong? Josh Taylor, in my opinion, fights that he doesn't have to fight. Stands in front of his opponents. His ideal situation is to get on the inside when he likes, because he always, for some reason, he loves to bang and make his fights so exciting. He's a fighter that thrives on excitement, I think. You know what I'm saying? In his last fight against Burnchick, like, he did not have to fight that fight that he fought, but he instead fought that fight. Towards the end of that fight, people were saying that Josh slowed down and he stopped swinging, and I think, honestly, and y'all may say I'm tripping, I think he purposely did that, bro. I think he purposely allowed Burnchick to get off on him in the end of that fight to make it more exciting, to engage the crowd more. Josh wants to get to the mountaintop with the help of the crowd. And he wanted to keep them on his side, but he also knows I cannot give them boring fights. And so he makes fights that he doesn't have to fight. He gets to the inside. He lets his hands go, and he stays there sometimes. He doesn't get out. He'll stay there and bang with you. Sometimes he gets caught. He'll move around the outside, and he'll get planted, and he'll stand there. And his downfall is he gets sucked into these kind of fights. Most of the cases, he's been the guy with the higher firepower. But there's going to come a time when you get caught in a fight like that, you won't have the higher firepower. He had the more firepower over Burnchick. He had more firepower than Postal and amongst everyone else he fought. But will he have more firepower than this kid? That's the question. Light lit up. What up, light lit up? Taylor is the more versatile fighter, but I still give Prograis the advantage. Taylor has shown you a lot in the ring. Like, he showed you his movement. He showed you his outboxing ability. He showed you he likes to get into the inside, and he can fight very well on the inside. He's shown you that over time. So you may have seen a lot more tools from Josh. But as in Regis, who's been saying the whole time building up to this fight, I've given you many different looks. There isn't one thing that I cannot do in the ring, at least against that level of opposition. So don't act like I can't do a lot more things. Regis can do a lot too. But I do think Regis has the slight edge in power. I do. Because like I said before earlier, I've seen Regis put down fighters on their ass with one shot. Pain, one pot shot. One good shot, landed punch. Puts them down. Josh, to me, always got to do it in an accumulation style, where he's wearing his opponent down. Round after round after round after round with the inside fighting. The jumping in and the jumping out. The jumping in and the jumping out. But Regis, to me, has the power. I think this is going to be, just like this quote saying, a bloody fight. What you have here is two fighters that don't shy away from confrontation. One fighter looking to make it exciting. The other fighter looking to become a star. Josh Taylor has been saying Regis Prograis, his eyes are in the lights. He's walking around with shades on. He's talking like he's a star. They asked him on the face-to-face, like, you're going to be a superstar after this fight? Regis said yes. Josh says no. Regis like, yes, I'm going to be a superstar. Now, to my Josh Taylor people, y'all may see that as a form of weakness. Y'all may look at that and say, well, he wants to be famous. He wants to be he wants to be a star. He wants to be Prince Nassim. Will he take his eye off the ball? Or will this be the biggest moment that he rises to? I don't know, fight fans. This is a close fight. Like I said before, the winner of this fight, I would love to see go and face Jose Ramirez for all the marbles. Total undisputed fight. He got 2 belts. The winner of this fight will have 2 belts. We talking undisputed champion at 140, possibly. We know Regis Prograis has worked out a deal with Ramirez prior to the World Boxing Super Series that once this is over, that him and Ramirez will fight. Well, if Regis has 2 belts and Ramirez has 2 belts, we got an undisputed fight on our hands, fight fans. Because they've already agreed to make that fight happen. People forgot about that. Because they were supposed to fight before the World Boxing Super Series when Regis became the mandatory. So this whole situation, man, is just getting better and better. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Low Blow Champ says, I'm putting money on all props for this fight. Great value here all day. I agree 100%, man. I agree 100%. Light Lit Up says this is going to be a hell of a fight. Man, this is going to be a awesome fight. Do not miss it, fight fans. Even if you can't catch the original broadcast, man, find a way to catch the replay, the stream, whatever you got to do. Don't miss this fight. I will be here live right after the fight. I will be here live in a post-fight live stream right after the fight. Newborn, what up, though? Taylor wins. Skills. Damn. Taylor got skills, bro. Taylor definitely got skills. Fast hands, fast jab, southpaw. You know what I mean? Hard. But he gets dragged into these fights. I mean, these brawls, these 5 fights. Like I say, man, it's like saying, you know, if you know you got the ability to cruise to a fight. Who I heard say this before? And they said that they made it this kind of fight purposely just because they know they could. You have fighters out here nowadays that be like, you know, I fought this kind of fight, but I fought on the inside toe-to-toe with him, but I could have made it a lot more like Floyd did with Marcos Maidana. In the first fight with Maidana, you remember how he fought. Second fight, he cruised through the fight, but it was a boring fight. That's Josh. I think Josh has the ability to beat a lot of opponents easily, but he chooses not to because he knows that route ain't gonna get him no fanfare. And this is why the Scottish and the UK and they all ride with Josh Taylor the way they do. Because he loves the action. He loves to be in the action. And so does Regis. Same thing. With a slight power edge. I think Josh has the edge in skills, in my opinion. Some say maybe Regis may have it because he's a harder guy to hit. But his upper body movement is gotten better over fights. Regis used to get touched up all the time. And Regis gets touched up whenever he feels like it. Sometimes he does just like Josh does. He mauls his way to the inside to land that big shot, and he'll take a punch or two if he knows he can eat your punches. But I think I give him the slight power edge. I think Josh is the more skillful fighter, faster hands, has a lot of tools in there. Regis got a lot of tools too, but Regis has that power, man. When he's on the inside, his punches are shorter. His punches get to that, I think they may get to the destination maybe even faster. He will take the inside track. Inside track mixed with power. Fight fans. Josh Taylor, you my main man. This channel got nothing but love for you. You know it. You know it. Against anyone else, I'm picking you. But at the end of the day, I got to rock with my man, Regis Prograis, for the win. Regis Prograis by UD. Some say knockout. I got to go UD. I think Regis Prograis wins the earlier rounds back with his firepower. Keeping Josh at bay. Eventually making Josh honest. The problem is with, like I said before, against the Victor Postels and the Burn Chicks of the world, like those fighters couldn't keep Josh honest. They just didn't have it. I think Regis actually has the power to keep Josh honest. Will keep Josh on the outside a lot more. It would be Regis that would probably be more of the aggressor, in my opinion. I could be wrong. This is a 50-50 fight. This is a fight that a lot of us is going to get wrong. But given that both of these fighters are so skilled, one man likes to hang on the inside a little too long and stand in front of you sometimes to get caught up standing right there in front of you. And Josh Taylor, a little too much. Regis doesn't do that. Regis is looking to stand on them punches, take the inside track, and get to the inside. And I think eventually he lands those punches and keeps Josh honest. So that's my prediction. Regis Prograis by unanimous decision. Let's see what y'all talking about. Owen Bryant, already read it. Too many belts and the rules bend from boxer to boxer. Mainly the WBC and the WBA. Those are the two worst belts in boxing now. They used to be the most prestigious ones. But those are now the two worst. The WBA have, we just did a story on them a little while ago where they got all of these belts in boxing. Where they're adding more and more belts. You know, it's like the WBA regular, the super, the diamond, the gold, the silver, the platinum, the wood, the plastic, the everything. Between that belt and the WBC with all the crap that they do, they the worst belts in boxing now. IBF to me looking like the best. Usually their rankings are made of is a graveyard. No one likes to fight in the IBF, but they enforce their mandatories. They on top of it. They don't give no exceptions, and they don't have 1,000 belts. IBF looking like the best sanctioning body in the business right now. WBO, They probably next, but I'm not a fan of their drug testing policies. But even neither the IBFs neither. But at the end of the day, they ain't doing the crap that the WBA and the WBC are doing. It's clearly a Ponzi scheme going on over there, man. You know what I mean? Let's see. D-Lo says the IBO ranking system is as silly as box rep rankings. None of the ABC organizations are credible. I feel you there, bro. I forgot all about the IBO. I don't even know what I don't even know how they enforce their mandatories, how they rank their fighters, none of that, man. And then that's another thing, like these ranking systems, dog. Like I said, man, salute the blood boxing. Oh, we always talk about this. We talked about that with the WBC ranking systems and how they putting in fighters in their top 15 that haven't even fought a fighter in the top 100. Real talk. We did that story. I forgot the guy's name. It's a shame. It's a shame. John Dejan says Regis stops him in 9 all day. A lot of y'all are saying that Regis stopping Josh. I don't know, man. Josh, like I say, man, he give you a reason to give Regis that edge because he hangs on the inside too long. Too long. My thing is, will he go to the inside on Regis and hang out there? Or will he honestly get out of Dodge? Will he fight the fight that we know he can fight on the outside? He hanging that inside too long on Regis, who has shorter arms, will have shorter punches, will have more leverage on the inside than Josh would. I'm telling you, Joe, if Josh gets to lingering too much on the inside, he's going to eat something real nasty. This fight is going to be beautiful, bro. This is going to be a hell of a fight. The loser of this fight have no reason to hold their head down because they did come in second in this tournament and they went through some okay fighters to get to that point. The loser of this fight is still a damn good fighter in my eyes for getting to this point. Kyle Relickley and Ivan Bernchik were not easy opponents as people may want to run around. These are former champions or were current champions at the time. These two dudes walk right through those fighters. Cut from another cloth. When they go up to welterweight, both of them, when they go up to welterweight, it'll be interesting to see if their rivalry continues to the next weight class. But when they go up to welterweight, it's going to be interesting to see what they do up there. This is going to get good, man. Regis all day. Regis UD. I'm going Regis UD. Regis UD. Regis UD. I got to go with Regis UD. Oh, man. Let's see. New Fat Boy Fitness. Good morning to you, King. What up, man? What up, though? John Dejan. Yo, Lubin better be careful as well. Yeah, I heard Lubin, he got a good fight coming up with Gallimore. That's going to be a damn good fight. Lubin better be careful. So does Robert Easter Jr. Robert Easter Jr. has a fight coming up tonight. Was it today or tonight? Tonight, right? Yeah, he's fighting Granados. I'm not a fan of Granados. Once again, same situation as say in the Chris Eubank Jr. situation. Not a fan of a fighter coming back down in weight. He's going back down to 140. Not a fan of that. Granados is one of those fighters that they can just kind of throw whatever to him and he'll take it. He's like John Molina. You know what I mean? Like, they can have a fight on short notice at a weight class, 2 weight classes below. He'll make it. He'll get there. He wants all the opportunities he can get. So, good for Granados, but I don't think it's a smart move. Fight starts at 2 p.m., says Last of a Dying Breed. Yeah, but that gives us about 2 hours. We have noon here on the East Coast right now. So that gives us about 2 hours, man. And I will be tuned in. Come on back here, fight fans, for the post-fight live stream. We will be live. Dimitri Cohen says, I got him by stoppage in 7. Prograis. I'm seeing a lot of Prograis stoppages. Man, a lot of Prograis stoppages. Y'all really believing in Prograis power out there. Y'all believe that this kid power is nothing but the truth. LeBron James in the building. What up, famo? What's up with you, man? Great fight day. Salute to you too. All day. Great fight day. All day long. Starting at 2 o'clock. All day long. Don't miss nothing, fight fans. D-Lo 404 Boxing. WBO can't be taken seriously either due to Bob and Frank Warren's stronghold. Good point. Forgot all about that point. See, it's like every time you try to give these sanctioning bodies some credit, you can take a deeper look and you'll find something where they go wrong. See, and not only that, their stronghold from Frank Warren and Bob Arum, which is sickening, but also their drug testing policy of using USADA. That's sickening. A lot of stuff slips through the cracks. The WBO don't catch nobody in drug testing. So you're right. You're right, bro. They all corrupt. I guess that. So is it so let me ask you, do we got any problems with the IBF? IBF seems pretty clear cut, right? I can't think of the IBF doing no wrong other than their rankings being a graveyard. No one signs up for the IBF. They got to be the cleanest coming out right now. Man, that's sad. That's sad. Mr. Transferber says, busy day today. Lubin on Showtime, Prograis on DAZN, Stevenson on ESPN Plus. Bruh, Stevenson. Yo, when I get off this live stream, I'm glued to the tape. I'm glued to the tube. I'm telling y'all right now, man. God, I don't know when is going to be the appropriate time to get back on, given so much is going on. But definitely right after the Josh Taylor and Prograis fight, I got to get on. I've got to get on. I visualize winning this and lifting that trophy 1,000,000 times over my head. It's in touching distance now, and I'm going to grab it with both hands. I can't wait all day. These two fighters are ready, man. They ready as it gonna get. Bro. Real talk. LeBron James says, this is Easter's last chance. Last chance, bro. You think Renado's got a chance on beating him? An aggressive fighter. We know what type of fighter that Robert Easter Jr. is. Another fighter that's not used his height. He lets these fighters break to the inside on him, and he stays there too. And he fights that fight. He's right there to be hit right in front of you, forgets to use his length. His last fight, he attempted to fight in that fashion. It was a snore fest. It just didn't seem natural to him. You know what I'm saying? Or what was that? What was the Fortuna fight? It didn't seem natural to him. You know what I mean? It's something that you can clearly see that Robert Easter Jr. may have once upon a time learned, but clearly it's fall back on that style, and he gets sucked into these brawls. He gets sucked into a brawl with Granados. He mess around and get clipped. But this is it for Robert Easter Jr. You're right. No one's going to be checking for him if he loses this fight. I know I'm damn sure not. I'm not. I've really never had a reason to check for Robert. Robert Easter, even in his big fights, I always say those were too close for comfort for me. He never really had a big degree of separation in his big fights. He's never had that. It's never been a dominant fight on the elite level. He was a champion. There wasn't dominant performances coming from Robert Easter Jr. And I don't think he dominates Granados, unfortunately. I just think he's just limited in that fashion. It is what it is. UGC says Josh Taylor is about to learn the stanky leg dance today. All day. Hey, man, come on. Hey, Josh, you better not, bro. Don't do it. Don't let your momentum get stopped like this. Don't let Regis go in there and stop you, bro. Don't let him stop you. I believe, man, look, Josh going to fight to the end, Mo. He going to fight to the end, man. I'm sorry. Josh, he's never been stopped. He don't, like even points when he gets hurt in fights, man, he's still coming at you. Josh is a lot of heart, man. I mean, he going to fight to the end. I don't see him being stopped. I know a lot of y'all out there do. I'm seeing y'all comments. I've seen at least about 5 to 6 comments now. Regis Prograis by stoppage. Look at that, man. I mean, I don't see it, man. D-Lo says, Easter done made a liar out of me too many times. I think I'm going to take Granados. I ain't mad at that pick, D-Lo. I ain't mad at that pick, and I understand clearly. I'm the same way. The second everybody says, oh, well, Robert Easter Jr. may go back and fight tall and use the jab and use his movement. Oh, he's going to use the right hand. He's going to use this. He does it for like 2 rounds, 3 rounds. And then he's sucked right back into that same type of fight for the most part. Like I said, in this last fight, he was determined not to fight that way. Against Fortuna, he was determined not to fight in that fashion. And he made it a snore fest. And it was like, that was a tough, ugly fight to watch, man. Ugly fight. Let's see. John DeJohn says, Greer's coming with the pillows. Night. Yeah, man. And we'll see. Hey, who was that that's taking his swag with that, man? And I was just looking at it. I thought, what fighter was that tried to take that whole gimmick from him, man? Was it Shakur? It was Shakur, wasn't it? Man, nah, man. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson tried to take that pillow thing from him, man. Nah. You leave that to that boy Greer, man. He was original with that, man. I ain't like when Shakur did that. It came back and doing the same thing, coming out with the pillows and all that, man. Nah, man. That's Greer thing, man. I like young Greer, man. Last fight was iffy, though, but I still like him. Light Lit Up says, I got Granados beating Easter also. Wow. Fuller Sports says, it won't be easy, but late stoppage. D-Lo says, IBF is weird with the mandatories to me. Daryevchenko had just lost a vacant title fight versus Jacobs, then squeaked by Kalke and was awarded the mandatory position again. You're right about that. And I don't know how that worked out either. I think with the IBF, in that case, they probably just got tired of having Well, I can't even say they're tired of putting bums into the ring against champ. I don't know, bro. You right about that. They slipped the knot with that one, man. Like Derevchenko was due right back up right after he lost for the vacated title. He lost against Daniel Jacobs. Then he comes right back around and he's in a fight with Gennady Golovkin. You right about that. I don't know how that worked out. UGC says, Easter trash juice, bruh. Granado's winning that one all day. Hey, if Easter lose, he is done. He is finito. We don't want to hear the name Robert Easter Jr. ever again. You know what I'm saying? He is finito. Bro, like fans are right. They have given Robert Easter Jr. umpteen chances. They've even tried to give him the light route, the easy route, if you would, the easy road. He ain't made the best of that. Nobody checking for no Robert Easter Jr. Man got arms this damn big. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. I hope we pull it out because to keep his career alive. Because, like I said, that's just one of many fighters that I just do not really check for on the regular. But mainly because of the way he fights, and he hasn't, to me, convinced me on big wins. It just haven't done it. You know what I mean? John DeJean says Easter even tried to talk like Bronner. Be yourself, bro, all day. You right about that. And that's enough. And, you're right. He tried to be a Bronner, hanging with a Bronner. And, his last, in that Fortuna camp, though, I will admit, he kind of isolated himself in that camp, if y'all remember that camp. He isolated himself. He only put his family in the gym with him. He had his daddy and a couple other family members in there with him. He tried, but he's so late in his career at this point, man, where he's trying to do new things and learn new things. And it's just not seeming natural to Robert Easter Jr. That's the only thing I don't like about it. It don't fit him. When he attempted to box tall, it just looked ugly. Bro. It wasn't crisp. He was getting hit. He was doubting himself so much. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I swing now? No. I'm a block. No. It was a lot of doubt there. It just looked ugly, bro. It looked ugly. D-Lo 44. I picked Easter many times and he lost just like I used to pick against Bud. I have learned my lesson all day. I've learned my lesson too. But in this fight, I'm telling y'all, I might be wrong, y'all might be wrong, and it's okay. Because this is just that kind of fight. I'm predicting a Regis Prograis decision. I think he does edge it out minimally 2 rounds, 3 rounds maybe. It's going to still be close. Maybe, yeah. So they may even pull it down to a majority decision. I don't know. But either way, it's going to be close. I don't see dominant performance. 8 rounds to 4. I don't see no 9 rounds to 3. You know what I'm saying? I don't see none of that. But I see it being a banger of a fight. I think Regis takes the most early rounds. Josh takes a lot of the middle rounds. And Regis finishes the fight strong with hard punching. We'll see. D-Lo says, UGC says, if Charlo goes to 68, he is going to get brain damage. Who, you know what? He even talking about going to 68. Who is he going to fight up there? Caleb Plant or Benavidez, right? They on the PBC side. That's who they talking about, right? Man, please. Like, for real, man, come on, man. It's not smart, bro. You've done nothing at 60. How you gonna go to 68 and done nothing at 60? Why don't you just do the smart thing and take your behind on over there to DAZN and say, look, bro, throw me a 2-fight deal. Let's do it. 2-fight deal. Right now. Within writing, I need one of those fights to be Canelo or Gennady Golovkin. Let's make that happen. You ain't even got to give it to me in the first fight. But the second fight, I need to have one of them in the ring. If you can make that happen, I'll sign a 2-fight. It's a simple thing. Oh, but Showtime. Loyalty to Showtime. I got to be loyal. You better damn sure hope that Showtime is loyal to you when the lights go out, cousin. You better damn sure make sure that Showtime got your back if something happened to you and look out for your people. You better make sure as loyal as you being to them. Because I never understood boxers in this loyalty talk. There ain't nobody loyal to you when the lights go out. Ain't no promoter loyal to you. Because you ain't making them no money. Boxing can care less about you because you ain't making them no money. Any network you fight for care less. They ain't making you. They gonna give you a spot in the Hall of Fame somewhere that means jack crap other for people like me to get on here and talk about it. But you talking about loyal to Showtime. Man, you better get your money and stop playing and get these fights. But that cat's got the nerve to call me out over Jamal Charlo. Like, this is not the dude you could have said Thurman. You could have said, you know, like Hurd. But you called me out over Jamal. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. If Owen Bryan says Easter last fight was Bartholomew, that fight was boring as hell. That's who I'm thinking about. Francis Bartholomew. That's who I'm thinking. I got to mix it up. What was it? Fortuna? I kept saying Fortuna. That fight was boring as hell. I thought Easter and Fortuna was pretty good. Oh, he did. I thought Fortuna was the last one. So Fortuna was the one before the last one. Nah, bro, that shit was not good. That shit was garbage. Easter's fights is just becoming trash in general, bro. Like, I mean, you can dress it up, bro. Easter fights are nothing. I'm never looking forward to a Robert Easter Jr. fight, mainly because he's not showing me nothing in the ring. He's not showing me the sweet science in the ring. He's not showing me none of that. He's showing me wood shop clad. He's showing me PE. He ain't showing me the sweet science. I don't know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? He just showing up. And swinging punches. Oh, man. D-Lo44 says, truth be told, I found it hard to give Easter rounds versus Rances as well as I picked Easter in that one. The terrible fight. Terrible fight. A fight that I would never watch again. Terrible fight. Terrible fight. UGC says they hit too hard at 68 and he don't have no head movement. You know, a lot of people say Jamal get by on athleticism. It's pure athleticism. Like with Jamal Charlo, it ain't a skillful thing. It's more he's a hell of an athlete. That's how he was able to beat J-Rock. That's what they say. Well, I don't know how much that athleticism will help him at 68, especially if he's not bigger than them men. It's about punch resistance too. We'll see. We'll see, man. I don't think he should go to 68. He's been at 60 for a while, and I am well on record in saying, look, man, you got to make moves and you got to do what you got to do for your career. I'm going to say this. I don't suggest him to go to 68, but if he does, just to get a big name and a big fight because nobody else won't fight him, then he got to do what he got to do. I totally, in that fashion, I understand. You can't just sit on the shelf fighting Hulk Hogan's adopted son. You know what I mean? You can't just sit on the shelf. And now Chris Eubank Jr. is coming down. I don't think he goes to 68 now, though, Black, because they talking Chris Eubank coming down, and they talking about maybe putting him on the fight next year. He's on the undercard of his fight, so you see they building that up. So he may be facing the Chris Eubank Jr., which is trash. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm still ain't high on Chris Eubank Jr. Trash. After what I'm still ain't over what he did to George Groves. Still ain't over it. Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm still ain't over it. That was foul. John DeJean says, easy on the homie Charlo. Let's not act like he didn't sleep J-Rock, the guy who beat your boy. Yeah, there you go. Now, that's fair criticism, John. That's fair criticism. I can rock with that. He beat J-Rock at 54. I will give him that. That's a good deal. But at 160 is what we talking. And he's done jack crap. And he's put himself in a position to do jack crap. And don't get me wrong, John. I like him. I like him a lot. I always call him A-side Charlo for a reason. And I call little Jamel B-side Charlo for a reason. I got nothing but love for Jamal. I just want to see him do something with his career. Why is that too much to ask? I want to see him put himself in a position to get these fights. I gave a good plan in the last video. Go to the IBF. What was the problem? Vacate that crash dummy belt that you holding on to in the WBC. That's not a real belt. You're not a real champion. Get rid of it. Go to the IBF. You should have went to the IBF. You were the IBF champion at 154. You should have came up and went there. You would have had your mandatory enforced by now as a real champion. Whether it been for a vacated belt or not, whether it would have been against Sergey Deryevchenko or not, somebody would have fought him. Then how the hell does Daniel Jacobs lose his belt, his WBA that he took off Peter Quillen, right? Goes after, becomes the IBF champion, loses that belt, and now he's heading up to 68. How did Daniel Jacobs get 2 belts in a weight class before Charlo even got one? Because he made moves. He looked at Al Heyman and said, Al, I love you, man. I do. You my you my main man. But I got to do what I got to do, homie. Either you with it or you ain't. Andre Rozier, either you with it or you ain't. But guess what? I'm getting M's. That's what Danny Jacobs say. Oh, man, appreciate the super chat. Owen Bryan, can't put your career in somebody else's hands. Forget the network and take the best fights for your career all day. Couldn't said it no better, famo. Appreciate that love. Couldn't said it no better. And this is what I'm saying, Jean Dejean. I gotta call it like I see it. And Charlo needs to do something. Go to the IBF. That would have been a great move. Go to the zone for 2 fights. Ain't hurting you none. You're making money, and on top of that, you're getting big fights. And if you don't get big fights, at least you can say, I got the money, and at least you can say, I tried to get those fights. We will understand. Right now, we not understanding. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. DGO in the building. What's up, famo? What's up with you, man? Happy Halloween, bro. Happy Halloween, too. I got a Halloween video coming out for everybody very soon. I recorded it last night. I went to a Halloween party last night. It was pretty cool, man. It was real cool. So we got some good things, and I will be doing a Happy Halloween type video for everybody. So check out that soon. Fool of Sports says, hell yeah, he ducking. All day, bro. All day. Antonio Myers, Jamal is wasting time at 160. It's for him to step up in opposition. Bro, y'all all feeling like me. Y'all all feeling like me. DGO says, word. Yep, all day. Yeah. It's a simple deal. Make a move. Make a freaking move. Stop being so inconsistent. Do what you got to do, Jamal Charlo. Stop running around talking about Andrade as a nobody 1 minute, and the second minute, oh, I'm down to fight him. Stop talking like the double talk. This is why nobody can't take you serious. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, forgot to tell you that I hit your PayPal earlier, fam. Just want to make sure it made it. I will check that. I haven't checked it yet, famo. Much love to you, D-Lo44. Much love, bro. I appreciate that support all day, man. I really do. Really do. And I will check it and give you a special shout out for it. Appreciate you, man. Lawrence Williams in the building. What's up, bro? It's Boxing Day, Lawrence. It's cats like you I know who love the days like this, homie. Yo, it's Boxing Day, Lawrence. It's going down. Us diehards. This is the day that we crave days like this, bro. Boxing all day long and a lot of good fights. Salute to you, famo. Salute to you, man. You know what I mean? My brother, UGC Black, man, salute to you, Black, man. Black been riding with me for a long time. That's my brother right there all day, bro. Great day of boxing. Appreciate the live, man. I appreciate your support, famo. Shout out to the UGC, man. Much love to y'all, man. All day. You know what I'm saying? All day. I appreciate that, man. Yo, man, y'all make this worth doing, man. Y'all make this, this is why I get so excited to come on here and talk boxing with y'all, man. All day, man. For real. Let's see. DGO says Andre fight is there. Jacobs and the Derevchenko fight too. Bro, you just ran down 3 fights that Charlo could have took. And I would have loved to see any of them. The work ain't hard, bro. You could have fought Derevchenko at the IBF for that vacated title, possibly. You dig? And on top of that, he's a Al Heyman affiliated fighter. PBC affiliated fighter. For real? Daniel Jacobs, Al Heyman affiliated fighter. For real? Come on. Then you put Matt Korboff, the guy that you had in a tough, close fight on the under. They put him on the undercard. They could have ran that back. Oh, man, nobody going to have no sympathy for no Jamal Charlo at all, Joe. Nah, not all. Not at all. Yes, sir, says Lawrence Williams. All day, bro. Hey, this is what it is, man. This is what it is. We're about at 12:30 now. So, yeah, we got about an hour and a half before it's all starting to kick off, fight fans. About an hour and a half. Newborn says Prograis' aggression and his hands down will get him stopped. Josh by stoppage. That is a point of concern. I forgot to mention that. Shout out to you, Newborn. I forgot to mention that. Prograis does do that. And that scares me about him sometimes. Even on the inside, where he'll drop his hands. He will literally drop his hands and depend on that upper body movement and that head movement to get him through. He can't do that against Josh. All that, can't do it. Maybe it's something that's natural to Regis, but you can't do it against Josh. You can't do it. You can't do it. And Josh need to be mindful of another thing, because you're trying to frame Regis as this superstar craven fighter. or this fighter that craves the headlights. One thing you need to remember is that Regis came up through Texas, where he was grinded. Yeah, you may see a cat that got eyes for the lights, and you may see somebody who coming into weigh-ins with shades on, diva like whatever. But remember, he was grinded in Texas, in 100-degree weather, fighting the best out there, coming up in the gyms with the Charlos, coming up in the gyms with a lot of other fighters out of Texas. Like, yo, don't get it twisted. He may be living in LA today, land of Hollywood, land of stars. May want to be a star himself. Some even say he want to be a model, whatever he want to be. But don't get it twisted, because he came through the fire. He got grinded to get to this point. Regis been through a grind. I'm telling y'all. D-Lo 44 Boxing says Jacobs was a known commodity before most of us ever heard of the Charlos. That said, I don't see Heyman advising him from going to DAZN unless they have better plans laid out, a la Wilder not jumping. Wilder's situation is a little different. You said Jacobs was a known commodity. Jacobs wasn't really that known. You got to remember, in the early days of PBC, Jacobs made the conscious decision of saying, well, I'm in a weight class where all of my smoke is over on HBO. So I'm gone to HBO. You know what I mean? Jacobs was willing to do things that a lot of the current PBC fighters are not willing to do. And not to mention, Jacobs' names wasn't ringing bells like that, bro. You know what I mean? He had lost to Parole, and like people wasn't really checking like that for Danny Jacobs. What gave Danny Jacobs the name recognition is when he got the Golovkin, the Peter Quillin, the Golovkin fights, the Canelo fight. That's when his name really started to rise. Mainly after the Peter Quillin fight, I'd say. The Peter Quillin fight may have been the one, because he stopped Quillin in the first round. That rung a lot of bells. But but at that point, like him and Charlo were like evenly on the popularity scale. Like they wasn't. Charlo may even had a bit of an edge because he's a twin, and everyone was always, "Who's the twin? Who's the twin?" Like even if a lot of women, they may not know Charlo, but that's the one with the twin. They were like right there, bro. Like Jacobs didn't do anything leaps and bounds, and even today he's not leaps and bounds in popularity ahead of Charlo, mainly because he's associated with the fights that he got. But if Charlo, what I'm asking him to do wasn't based on popularity. I'm saying he could have came from 54 to 60 instead of going to the WBC, pressing and acting like a straight up, you know what I mean, just begging for their belt. He could have went to the IBF where he was already champion, where he would have been instilled as more than likely as the mandatory. He could have took that route. The IBF would have forced that mandatory eventually. Gennady Golovkin would have vacated the belt the same way he did against Deryevchenko, but it don't matter. Charlo would have been a full-fledged champion. There would have been no talks about fake champion and you didn't beat no one for a belt, because he would have legitimately won that IBF belt. And he would have had to deal with Sergey Deryevchenko, and he would have had to possibly deal with Daniel Jacobs, because Jacobs went after that belt. Not to mention him and Jacobs had already had the storyline built in. Jacobs had said, look, I'm getting M's. All Charlo would have had to do was go over to DAZN, 1-2 fights to fight Jacobs in the IBF. There were routes other than sitting in the WBC, facing Centinos of the world and Hogans of the world, and you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You know what the game is. You know how this game is played. You've been a boxer too long. You know they boxing you out. So make them not be able to box you out. That's what Jacobs did. Jacobs just put himself in positions where they couldn't box him out. Jacobs forced the network to say, if I re-sign back with DAZN, I need a fight with Canelo. I need that in the contract. Jacobs did these type things. Jacobs said, I'm not re-signing back. Remember when Jacobs was holding out on re-signing back with DAZN? He didn't re-sign back with DAZN until he was sure that he was going to get that Canelo fight. And look how fast he got that Canelo fight. I'm just saying. It's all about how you moving in that boardroom sometimes, bro. Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. What up, though? Cadillac Red. What up, famo? What's goody with you, man? He says, I'm from New Orleans. I got Regis handling that boy for sure all day. I haven't seen about, the ratio's got to be about now, at least about 15-2 about Regis to Josh, man. Ain't nobody giving much to Josh. I see Josh, and if I recall, looking at the betting odds, Regis is the favorite. He is the favorite. He was like a minus, I think, 150 or 180, something like that. So he is the favorite. Damn. D-Lo says, too many. Oh, hold on. UGC says, I can relate to Regis. I too was affected by Hurricane Katrina. Yeah. He and that speaks volumes about his character. He didn't let that derail him. He didn't let that take him out of the gym, take him off his grind. He just moved states and moved to different gyms and kept on going. Now he out in LA. Went through the Texas circuit. Now he out there in LA. That's why I say Regis has been grinded to this point. Nothing has been given to him. He grinded hard in those gyms and made a name for himself. And look at his route in boxing. He's never ran away from no smoke. He just told Ramirez we'll do it after the World Boxing Super Series. He told Josh, I knew I was going to be fighting you. You're the fight that I've been wanting for forever. He's never ran away from no smoke. Adrian Bronner wouldn't dare put his ass in the ring with no Regis Prograis. He could talk all that talk on social media, but he wouldn't dare put himself in there with no Regis, because Regis would dust him, and it would be a legitimate dusting. Not a higher weight, not a lower weight guy. It would be a guy in your size, your weight class, dusting you. And that is a bad scenario for Adrian Bronner. It's okay to lose to a legend. It's okay to lose to a unified champion or something like that. But it's never okay to lose to someone that's supposed to be on your level. Eye level. Same class, same size, everything. And you get dusted. Adrian will never get in the ring with Regis Prograis. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. I know y'all be like, well, he fights everybody. Nah, he won't get in there with no Regis. He'll talk on social media. Regis a dust AB. Dust AB. And Josh. I got Josh dusting AB. Easy work. D-Lo says, we damn near have a whole era of fighters who will fall on their face from an all-time great standpoint because they didn't put in the work all day. Couldn't agree more, bruh. Couldn't agree more. Lawrence Williams says, Charlo was number 2 behind Chenko when the IBF stripped him last year and decided to fight Centino for the WBC interim. Well, I mean, that's what I mean. Why did he go from the IBF to the WBC? That's the question. That's why I'm trying to figure out, Lawrence. Like, he should have stayed there. He should have just stayed there. You said they stripped him last year and decided to fight, Centino. Yeah, bro, he should have stayed there. The IBF knew what the route that he wanted to go. He should have just went through the IBF route, bro. He would have got his shot. He would have had a name possibly with Deryevchenko on his resume at 160. Would have even had a better bargaining position. It just would have worked out a lot better. Now I understand, and I always say this, full disclaimer, hindsight is 20/20. It's easy to sit back today and say what someone should have done yesterday. Now, you go back to that time, maybe things were a little different. But looking back, I'm saying that I would have rather seen them go the IBF route immediately while coming to 160. It would have just worked out better. And he needs to stop running around talking about Demetrius Andrade as a nobody. Because then now you're just like making yourself look worse. You're making yourself look worse. You are a fighter in need of a fight. For you to say another champion is a nobody. A nobody. Come on, man. Come on, man. When you gonna match one with your boy? Hey, we need to get up, Supreme Beast. We can get up and do something, bro. Let me know what's good for you, and it's always good for me. Matching all day. You feel me, though? Lost one say Taylor, the favorite over in the UK. Oh, okay. I can imagine that. I can imagine that. And look, man, it's just 50-50 to me. It's 50-50. It's straight down the middle. I'm picking Regis, but I wouldn't be surprised if Josh won. Y'all got a good fight over there in Josh. And you should be supporting him by the multitudes. Because he's a common man. Like he's representing of the common man. Like he doesn't want the glitz and the glamour. He wants to earn his the hard way. He wants to give his fans a show each and every fight, even if it means that he has to curry a fighter, even if it means he has to fight a fight that he shouldn't be fighting on the inside. staying there too long when he can easily get in, throw a combination and get out. He has that ability, but he gets in and he stays there sometimes, and sometimes to his detriment. But he does this in order to please the fans. So you should support him. You should support him in droves. I like Josh Taylor. And if he was an American fighter, we would be supporting him because we like the kind of fighter that Josh Taylor is. Support him, UK. Scotland, support him. Support him. Support your man, because he's a good fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. Newborn says it's easy to Josh by decision. It's in his country, but he will stop Prograis. And that's what makes this victory even more good for Regis Prograis. He's going to a foreign country. He's going across the water. Regis never put it any obstacle up from doing that. His only problem, we know prior to going into this fight, where there was some doubts if this fight would have happened, because Regis, basically, they didn't pay him. In a nutshell, he had some check marks in his contract that he was supposed to get paid this on this date, this on that date. They didn't deposit the money. Regis held out for a minute. Regis like, hold on, I want to do this fight. I do, but this is what we agreed to. They finally got Regis right on the money. Regis is back into the situation. So I'm glad that situation didn't fall apart, because that could have easily fell to shit. And it didn't. Good deal. Good deal. Josh tried to use that too. He tried to say, oh, well, Regis, you try to back out of the fight. You didn't really want to take this. Regis, stop it. Bro, I don't know what kind of contract you got, but the contract I got says this is how much I'm supposed to make. This is the day that money's supposed to be there. And yeah, if you allow them to steal from you, may the force be with you. But me, on the other hand, I need all mine. And that's Regis. So that was the only bit of the hold up. Coach Kennedy, what up, famo? Man, if my man AB ever gets his head back on, he stops them 140 guys easy. If he gets his head on. And that's a big if with a lot of F's. You know what I mean? Like, that's if. I don't look, focus, Bronner, that's something to talk about. But this dude, I don't know who this Adrian Braun is. You know what I mean? And it's no way I'm betting on Adrian Braun against these two lions, like straight up lions. Adrian ain't a lion. Supreme Beast say hit me up. Will do, bro. Will do. Let me go ahead and lock that down. Definitely gonna hit you up, famo. Definitely gonna hit you up. We gonna link it up. Maybe we could do a collab in person and stuff. Light it up, all that. You hear me? Definitely gonna hit you up. When they stripped Triple G. Yeah. When they stripped Triple G. And that's what I'm saying, Lawrence. Like when they stripped Triple G, or when Triple G vacated, I think he vacated. When he vacated that shit, like Charlo could have been right there. Him and Daryevchenko for the IBF title. That would have been huge. No obstacles whatsoever impeding that fight. Both men on PBC. No purse bids and none of that crap necessary. It would have been easy. But he chose the WBC, and he's looking like I did a video about this, and I explained how the WBC smacked them around for years. They took away those fights, the Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez fight. He still wears their belt. They put him on the back burner. He still wears their belt. They didn't enforce ordered fights. When they ordered Triple G to face him, he still wears their belt. And now he's the one that's going to have to fight a mandatory. Now he's the one that's going to have to do all of this while Canelo can do whatever the hell he wants. And he still wears their belt. He allowed Canelo and Triple G to pay him step-aside money. He let them run all over him. And now he thinks he's going to, that's why I say he thinks he's really in a position to say, well, DAZN, we're only going to do a one-fight deal. Eddie's going to look at him and say, who do you think you talking to? I will let you sit over there and rot. All I care. We don't need you or anything you bring into the fight. Now, you can come on over here and sign this 3-fight deal. Or you can go back on over there and fight Dennis Hogan. That's the position. He's postured so long. That's the position that he's in. So we'll see. We'll see. On God, and them Bronner can't beat Regis, said Supreme Boxing Talk. Bronner can't beat no Regis, bro. And then, you know, the crazy part is Bronner's literally out here on social media. He's out here on social media, out here clowning. Man, I beat them. I beat Buddy. I beat Lil Buddy. And I beat Lil Buddy. Man, Lil Buddy will whoop that ass, cousin. He'll whoop that ass. I got Regis destroying Bronner. I got Josh destroying Bronner. I got Ramirez destroying Bronner. I have Adrian Bronner, just like Regis Prograis said. I don't have Adrian Bronner beating one champion at 140. Not one. I'm about to go back down there and take over 140. Anybody want to fight me? Meet me at 140. Bro, it's too late for that. You should be a 147 fighter. Your weight is all out of whack. You should have been at 140 3 years ago when you decided to skip over 140. You should have been there then. Now you should be at 147. So now you killing yourself to make 140. Bronner weight is all out of whack. His career is all out of whack. He let the PBC destroy him. I hate to say this, and I've told this story several times on this channel. He allowed the PBC to destroy him. I got Jalik the leader in the building. What up, famo? What's up with you? Jamal Charlo confidence is shook. He is not KOing guys and only fights twice a year, so no big improvements. I'm with you, fool. I'm with you, fam. I'm with you. But Adrian Bronner allowed the PBC to destroy his career. And I've already told this story. Like I said, when they believed in him to be this pay-per-view attraction, and they gassed his head all up, and they made him skip over the 140 to go straight up to Marcos Maidana after beating Paulie. They messed him up right then and there. That kid was on the right track at 135. He was always a fighter that was too big for the weight class, that shrunk down and overpowered fighters. That's how he always won. And when they put him in there with fighters that were bigger in the same size, if not were bigger than him, they took that away from him. They took the ability to overpower fighters away. And he hasn't been crap since. That's the facts of Adrian Bronner. He allowed them, instead of growing into a weight class, to talk him into skipping a weight class and convincing him that he will be a pay-per-view attraction. And he seen that, and he read into that. And he chased that. And it cost him. Because now he can't get right. Sad, man. Really is. Really is. Really is, bro. Neil Chiva says, Regis probably dogged Mikey Garcia too. Oh, hey. Bruh. Oh. Look. Y'all just think it was coincidental that Mikey says, I'm going to go up there and face Earl Spence Jr. when Regis and Josh and them are down there kicking ass. Y'all think it's a coincidence that Mikey says, oh, I'm going to go from 135, where I did not fight Jorge Linares, to go up to 147. I'm going to skip over 140 and go to 147. Everybody come to me, man. Oh, well, Mikey was a champion at 140, so we got to say he was coming from 40, right? No. Mikey won that championship, then went down to 35 and won the belt. We want to say he was a 35-pound fighter. And he ain't been to 140 since. He can go there to fight Zlatian and all of them cats. What's up with these cats? What's up with these cats? Mikey acting like he's such a diva. These fights ain't big enough for him. Well, the winner of this tournament will be a unified champion. Will possibly go on to face Jose Ramirez and become undisputed. Will you be ready then, Mikey? Why ain't Mikey jumping into the mix of these fighters? They clearly are on record saying that after this, they will be heading to welterweight real soon. Why ain't Mikey even... But I guarantee you, when these two fighters leave, here come old Mikey. Oh, I'm back at 140. I'm dominating 140. Same thing he did with Terrence Crawford. Didn't want to face Crawford either. Mikey is a con man, Joe. Y'all better watch Mikey, man. Y'all better watch him. Y'all better watch him. Devin Haney will have a good chance versus Regis. Haney is moving up soon. All day, Jalik. Now, that is something I'm welcoming to 140. Devin Haney, a fighter that wants smoke. A fighter that actually wants smoke. We talked about him a little earlier in the program. He wants the smoke. These are the kind of fighters that I love to see coming up. Now, Devin will be a great addition to 140. And he's on the DAZN side of the track. So if Josh is still there, that fight is possible. Even if Regis is still there, that fight is still possible. Given that Bob Arum does business with Eddie Hearn, the Ramirez fight will be possible for Devin Haney. The road is bright at 140 for Devin. And if Regis and Josh leaves before Devin gets there, Devin has a great chance of actually running the class. A good chance. Man, that's good, man. Salute to Devin Haney, man. Salute to Devin Haney, man. And it's a shame what the WBC did to Devin Haney, man. It's a shame they pulled Lomachenko out of your sights. It's a shame. It really is. To all of my casual fans out there, don't be fooled by this. Don't be running around and acting like Vasyl Lomachenko is the great champion that he is, because he got help. He got help. But y'all ain't gonna give a shit. Y'all ain't gonna care less. DGO says that Muhammad Ali trophy is the most legit prize in boxing all day. All day. Salute to the World Boxing Super Series for doing the idea and the notion that they brought to boxing is brilliant. I don't think the World Boxing Super Series gets nearly enough credit. This has been the one tournament that's came around since the Super Six that's really putting the best against the best and not putting the political crap in the mix. They say they can't come to welterweight because too much politics. The PBC got majority of the top welterweights, right? Well, how you gonna get Crawford in the mix? That would be lit, man. But they can't do it. They say they only can go to certain weight classes where the politics don't stop the fight from happening. Welterweight is off limits. Heavyweight is off limits. Two probably the most popular divisions, off limits because of the politics. Salute to the World Boxing Super Series, man, and what they're trying to do in boxing. All right, fight fans, it's 12:43. We have been going for about an hour and a half. Champ Ross, salute. Look here, I'm going to leave it here. But I will be back. Come on back, fight fans. We're going to have a lot to chop it up about after the Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor fight. Come on back. I hope y'all enjoyed this edition of We Talking Boxing every Saturday, every Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Come on through here. Chill on out with the homie. You know what I mean? We keep it all the way live, non-biased. Call it down the middle. You know what I mean? As we see it. We are boxing fans. We have no interest in no fighters. You know what I'm saying? At all. And see, you take this video right here, for example. I told y'all at the beginning, I actually have a behind-the-scenes relationship with Josh Taylor. But you see me calling on this platform saying that he's going to lose. Because I'm a fan. I'm not media. I'm not trying to have your access. I'm not trying to get next to you, none of that. I'm going to call it the way I see it, and we still going to be cool. That's what boxing fans are. That's the way it's about. You know what I mean? Mikey surrounded by killers, says UGC. He's surrounded by killers, and they all pointing at him. What he gonna do? He gonna get out the way of those shots, or he gonna shoot back? What he gonna do? We watching, Mikey. We watching how you move, Mikey. We know you picking your fights very wisely. We know you sitting back, just waiting on the right opponent and the right opportunity to strike. Oh, first off, then this is another trick you got to watch out for. They sit out the ring for long periods of time and say, oh, I got to come back to a tune-up. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm coming off a loss and I've been out of the ring for a long time. I need a tune-up. I need to get myself back together. I got to knock the rust off. That's what he going to come back to. Wasting more time and hoping that these dudes are out of the weight class. Man, Mikey full of it, man. Mikey full of it, bro. Mikey full of it. He ain't get in the ring. How you fight Zlatan Tishin and you fight Sergey Lipinets, but you don't fight these two? Well, they were involved in the tournament. Well, you didn't put yourself in the tournament. The tournament's going to be over after this fight. Now what, Mikey? Let's see if you call out the winner. Let's see if you want the winner of the World Boxing Super Series. Or will Ramirez come and take it? Mikey may not have the belts that Ramirez has, but he got name recognition. And he can sell a fight. They'll take that probably over the Ramirez fight. We'll see how Mikey moves. So come on back here, fight fans. After the fights are over, after Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor, we will be live because I have to talk about it. My head's going to be exploding if I don't talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? Much love to each and every one of y'all. Enjoy the fights. Enjoy the Boxing Day. Enjoy every second of the fight game today, fight fans. And just know, man, it's days like this that we all love. all day. I will see y'all back here a little later. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay stressed and sucker free. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay cool out there, man. If y'all going to do the Halloween thing, Joe, stay safe out there, man. It's a lot of lunch boxes out here in the world nowadays, so stay safe. You know what I mean? But yo, we will be back today, so come on back. Enjoy the fights, fight fans. Much love to each and every one of y'all. Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, UGC Champ Ross, Jalik the Leader, Neil Chavis. You know what I'm saying? Who else I got? Last of a Dying Breed, all of y'all, DGO, D-Lo 44 Boxing, Straight Drop, Lawrence Williams, everybody that slid through and showed the homies some love, all of the super chats and donations. Much love to y'all, man. Much love. Keep on coming here, man. And Main Man, Made Man will never leave you hanging all day. I see y'all after the fights. Enjoy. Regis Prograis, unanimous decision. To the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum. Instagram, Main Man, Made Man. Much love to each and every one of y'all. And to the next one, peace out.